الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعه ووالاه وسلم تسليما كثيرا أما بعد. This is some comments, few comments I have on the Study Quran project. Alhamdulillah, I had the chance to attend the event that was hosted by Wellspring Endowment in Houston, and Joseph Lombard was the guest to speak about the Study Quran. He's one of the editors of the project, and I'd like to thank Sheikh Joe Bradford for hosting this event. It was actually very informative, and it is a very good initiative. First, before I mention a few of those comments that I have, I wanted to make some points here before anybody becomes judgmental here. First of all, I'm going to be discussing from a purely academic point of view, purely tafsir, translation, commentary point of view from that aspect. Really, the perennialism of the editors, or they're practicing or not practicing. There is one of the editors, she's not wearing hijab, or Dr. Nasser is a Shia, or Joseph Lombard is a Sufi. This is not the concern now. If we get there, then we're not supposed to be reading Yusuf Ali because he's such and such. We're not supposed to read Picktel because he is this, and we really don't need to go there. So let's just focus on the Study Quran. As an initiative, this is something I consider nice. I don't want to say brilliant, that would be exaggeration, but it is nice to have a study Quran, not just a translation and some commentary that does not have value most of the time, except, the opinion of someone. So having it as a study, having it as an academic reference, having a project like that is a very noble cause. It is very something. So really, I appreciate that this started. And I'm emphasizing on the word started. That should be a start. And as I suggested to Joseph Lombard when he was there, I said there should be some type of study of the Study Quran, an ongoing effort by all schools, and he actually agreed. He said it is a fair game. Everybody can just criticize this one, to try to dig in and try to say what you want, and actually this is fair. Actually, I really salute him for that. So again, and I'm speaking from an academic perspective, so nobody can quote me and say, oh, I agree with people who believe such and such or such and such. I really don't care about their belief right now. So I really care about the project itself. So I wrote a few things. I listened to Joseph Lombard when he, in his 35 minutes or so, giving this presentation, as well as I had a chance to discuss with him and listen to other discussions. Actually, I'm very disappointed how the Houston community handled it. Very proud of Sheikh Joe, how he handled it, but I'm very disappointed in the community. They started focusing on the people's belief and going perennialism this, perennialism that, and forgetting about what we went for. I was going there to discuss the linguistic aspect, the balagha aspect, the eloquence aspect, what qira'ah they chose, why they did that in that verse. I did not have a chance to say that, and that was a disappointment for me. But anyways, I will use this to discuss a few of those, inshallah, now with you. I listened also to the lecture where Professor Said Hussein Nasser was giving in MIT, I think, about also the Study Quran. So I have a pretty good idea where they're coming from, and I read through a lot in the book, and I'm intending to finish every single word in it, inshallah, the text of translation as well as the commentary. And the more I go, the more I observe things. Joseph, in all fairness, he gave me his card and he asked me to communicate with him all the things I find. When I mentioned to him few of the things, he said this is great, I really need to take notes of that, and I would love if you communicate with me. So, to be fair, discussing this or criticizing or judging the text needs ample time. They took 10 years in doing this, so we cannot just judge it in 1 or 2 sessions. So I really want to give a word of caution to all my brothers and sisters who are really rushing into the comment. Just be objective in your comment. Don't accuse somebody to be subjective while you are not objective in your comment as well. I found that there are many grammatical or linguistics inconsistencies, so that's why I was asking him about the criteria. What is the criteria of his choice when there is a letter or a preposition or an article that can be used as masdar or as nafi, negation, and so on, like that. قل ما سألتكم من أجر فهو لكم. In Surah Saba, for example, ما سألتكم means I never asked you. فهو لكم means this Quran is coming to you, that's why I did not ask you. It can be understood that way and grammatically. Also can be قل ما سألتكم من أجر. If I asked you for anything, don't give it to me. It's to you. So the ajr is to you, not to me. That's just one example, but there are tens of examples that one is chosen over the other, even though it is not the famous one. Also, the criteria of the qira'at, there's inconsistency there. So some qira'ah is chosen in the tafsir, like in Surah Al-Ma'idah, for example, the qira'ah of وَأَرْجُلِكُمْ versus وَأَرْجُلَكُمْ. It's a common mistake that people think that when you say امسحوا برؤوسكم وأرجلكم, like Shu'ba and others recite, that means this is a dalil in mash. Our mash is mash al khuffain in the sunnah, not mash on the feet. And here it says mash to the ankles, and we don't have mash to the ankles. So maybe it is used to accommodate the 12 Imam Shia. That's beside the point, though, because you chose a qira'ah, but this is not what the qira'ah means, because وَأَرْجُلَكُمْ, even it has a kasra, but it is a fatha. How? So grammatically, this is mujawara. يعني عذاب يوم أليم. عذاب is what is described here, means punishment. يوم, a day, and then أليم is a description of عذاب, not of يومي. But because it came behind the يومي, which has a kasra, then أليم also will have a kasra, even though it is a description of عذاب. So it is صفة and it is منصوبة, but on the kasra اشتغال because of mujawara. So this is a complicated grammar issue here. So that's one of the things that was overlooked also in the translation. It happened a few times over there that I saw, and I'm sure when I read more that there will be more. And he admitted it also. Joseph admit that that issue was lacking because they did not have a linguist consultant, they did not have a qira'at consultant, a grammarian consultant, which I told him, subject a project that size, you should have consultant of those sciences, because those are ulum al-ala, and those are the serving sciences of the Quran. When you are translating and attempting to put all this commentary, you have to have a criteria. Also, the criteria of choosing. He was saying that we did not want people to think that monolithist translation is only one translation, and Islam only is one thing. And you go to Shia, they give you Shia; Sunni give you Sunnah; Salafi give you Salafi, like that. So they come up with this issue. So I told him, but there is a challenge here, that you make the choice. You are saying that there are 42, and I'm telling them now 42 tafsirs there, but you are not putting 42 opinions in every verse. You're not doing that. You are actually choosing Tabari in certain ayat, while choosing Ibn Arabi in Futuhat al-Makkah in certain ayat, while choosing Rumi in certain ayat. Rumi is not among Mufassirin, Ibn Arabi is not among Mufassirin. While shunning away the Salafi fundamentalist, as they talk about it as if it's a big issue, which I don't agree with. when you're academic, you have to put the whole spectrum there to be objective. But he insisted that this was overlooked. Said Hussein Nasr said in his video, which is on YouTube, that it was shunned away, Maududi and all the work of 20 years ago and all the fundamentalists, and then he always refer negatively to Saudi Arabia and all that as if there is no scholars there. So this also I really don't appreciate as an academic. You don't do that. You do not appear that vulnerable, but that subjective, that emotional. So when you want to become an academic, just be academic all the way. Even those whom you disagree with, just put their opinion as well over there and say that they are trying to impose that. In complete fairness, let me judge this. As a student of knowledge, let me judge what to choose. But you choose for me, you are actually doing what you are trying to avoid. So I find this, I'm not going to say ironical, but I find this needs some adjustment there. So saying that we have 42, we have Tabari, we have Ibn Ashur from the contemporary Tabata'i, from the Shia contemporary, you have Tabarsi, and you have from the Shia, and you have Razi, two Razis over there, and you have all these diverse tafsir. That's wonderful and great. Tafsir al-Qushayri, Lataif al-Isharat, and so on. That's wonderful. But you are the one who making choice. And actually, when I told Joseph that, he said, yeah, we made the choice. So yeah, so this is some subjectivity over there, so that also I want everybody to be aware of. Sometimes words are translated, I find, maybe I'm wrong, that more to promote the Sufi batin kind of meaning. It is reiterated directly and indirectly in the commentary about the symbolism. And the word mutashabihat, it is translated as symbolism in Surah Al-Imran. Shabbat is not symbolism. There are many opinions there, and I wish that they mention all of that, and then they vary the usage of it. Sometimes this, sometimes that, but emphasizing it, it's a symbolism. Also saying that the Quran, only Allah knows the meaning of it. Also, it's a vague statement. It can be in good intention, but it can mean bad as well. That means Allah is sending us a message that we don't know what it means. And that opens also other gates, that we don't want to get there. But I will take it, I'll assume good, I'll give the benefit of doubt that yes, there are parts that only Allah knows the true meaning of. There are parts that Ahlul Ilm would know based on their level, and there are parts that the layperson would pick from the Quran, and that's the meaning of mutashabihat, that to encompass all of this. There are also some kind of mix-up in the fiqhi ahkam. When you say there is a consensus of the recommendation of the statement of niyyah in wudu, statement of niyyah. طبعا there is differences, I know, among the schools, how to utter the niyyah and all of that, and niyyah is in the heart. Everybody agrees on this, but to say it or not, some say it's a sunnah, some say it's mustahab, some say it's mandub, some say it's bid'ah. That's beside the point now. But when you say there is a consensus on the recommendation, it is mandub or not, it is not accurate when you say unanimous. It is unanimous because many said you do not state the niyyah, so there is no unanimity over there. In the translation, also accuracy of the meaning of words. Sometimes the lafz al-mushtarak, يعني it is intended to be like that, to give two meaning, like the word qur'. One only was chosen over the other. You have also the tafsir of the al-huruf al-muqatta'at. It was given lots of Sufi interpretation, lots of Sufi interpretation over there. Now, shunning away any work that has to do with fundamentalism while promoting all Sufism. You put Ibn Arabi there and the Rumi there and al-Qushayri there and all of that, even though the Jumhur of the Mufassirin have issues with those, have issues with this tafsir batin and all of that, and you know, all this extreme Sufis, while you are not putting fundamentalist tafsir or work or consulting with or appreciating at least what others do. I find this, you know, again, you know, inconsistent. So if you are putting everyone and letting me judge, so just give me that, you know, ability to judge. Also, Ma'idah, for example, the word Ma'idah, that's accuracy of linguistic. I'm going random here, so forgive me. Inshallah, I'm writing a paper of all what I'm saying now. The word table, it is a table spread, the table spread, Ma'idah. The word Ma'idah means a table with food on it. Without food, it's called خوان in Arabic, خوان. So المائدة الخوان الذي عليه الطعام. So the word مائدة means food on a table, means the table with food. I don't know how you're going to translate that, but when you say the table is spread, I don't know what does that mean. Maybe my English is, I'm not that verbally advantaged here, but you know, this is one thing I also found there. And the Ma'idah also gives the circular one, so it was not a diagonal table, it was not like an oval table, it was a circular table for sure, because Ma'idah also from da'ira. The word Mada means dara, and tamida bikum means the earth will move and will circle, you know, around. You know, I found also one of the good things of this translation that it does not run away from controversial issues, like, you know, the word وَضْرِبُوهُنَّ about hitting the women, and this is maybe another lecture altogether, but they mention everything over there, and I really greet them and salute them for that, that they are just mentioning all these controversial issues there as they are, and that's a good thing. They don't make tarjih, but as I said, there is some kind of imposing there. That's how I feel. I want to stop here for today, but inshallah I'll continue. As I said, I'm in the process of writing paper, and I might summon the help of some of you who are really good in writing and all that to review it. Inshallah, maybe in a week or two I will be done with that. About this issue with Ribuhunna, maybe, you know, some of the sisters would be asking. I recently heard someone who was talking about Wadribuhunna, that in the shoes is used here because of the doubt of the woman cheating on the husband with someone, which I find like far-fetched. ضربوهن means ضربوهن يعني. So that's my my way. I was explaining it to some sisters yesterday class, and I said, okay, I am sure it happened to many of us that sometimes you make your wife unhappy with you, and then you want to make up and you want to apologize, and you hurt her so much that when you're trying to hug her, she starts hitting you on your shoulder or in your chest, and she's trying to push you away and all of that. How could you do this to me? How could you do that? And she's slapping your shoulder and all of that. What is that called? That's called barb. If your sister or your mother or someone that you love, you're trying to hold them, but they're trying to push you away or hit you. Because of this context, you accept that beating. You don't say, my wife beating me. Now, if someone talked to you in a harder way, you might cry and you might cut your relationship with them. So beating here is accepted because you know the context and you know you're wrong, and you accept that from your wife because you love her and she is kind of getting on you, and then you, khalas, alhamdulillah, forgiven, while you don't accept a word because it's in different context. I want you to understand that in this sense. So it is like you advise the wife, you are now rebelling, you are not doing right, and you are reminding her with Quran and Sunnah, and then she's not listening, and then you abandon her in the intimacy part with all the explanation there in the tafsir. She doesn't. Then you hold her and you said, how could you? You want to waste this marriage? Don't you listen? Don't you do that? And this kind of loving hit. Why we don't interpret it like that? That is why when the Sahaba misunderstood what it means, and they physically hurt their wives, the Rasul ﷺ said they are not the best among you, and the women came and complained to Rasulullah ﷺ. So there is a word, it was misunderstood and mispracticed, and then Rasul ﷺ said this is not right. Also, there is a rule in fiqh, when something is mubah, it does not mean it's mulzim. Yani if something it is allowed, it doesn't mean that you have to do. Means the husband have to be. His wife said, "Okay, I cannot do that." She can put it in the aqd, no problem. A husband can abandon that part, or when that part comes, he say, "No, I don't want that to be applied." Everybody has the freedom. So why we have to try overdoing being politically correct? Come on, my brothers and sisters. This is not the way we look in things. So my final word here, somebody approaching a tarjama, it is like he's doing a word of mufassir. He's doing a work of mufassir. So they have to be aware of the linguistics. They have to be aware of the balagha. They have to be aware of the ishtiqaq. They have to be aware of the qira'at. They have to be aware of the fiqh. They have to be aware of the aqidah. They don't have to be scholars in those, but they have to have those people around. I salute them again because they said, you don't take your deen from this.